What's up, guys? Jamie here, and we are going to do our WrestleMania 32 predictions. But before we get to that, would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm Razman's Reality. Jamie and I normally do the No Turning Back weekly recap podcast. We haven't done that in a few weeks because our schedules have been crazy, but we're back together doing this for
And we
because it's
also
WrestleMania.
wanted to take a break from it and upload a lot of other stuff that we wanted to do on our channels, but we had to get the WrestleMania 32 predictions in there. So,
Right, and also before, because this is going up on Saturday, everybody don't forget. Sorry, almost said don't remember, but don't forget to remember that NXT Takeover Dallas is tonight. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, do you want to go in a specific order, or you just don't care? Or
I
I'll save for like the really big matches for the ending, and
yeah, I'd say
I'm
whatever.
saving Undertaker's match for the end. So,
Yeah, I'd say whatever order that you read them in, or if you have any particular order in mind, doesn't matter to me.
alrighty. So, all right, I'm gonna save. Of course, the three biggest matches are at the beginning. Maybe I'll go from the ending. All right, I'm gonna actually do the pre-match matches first.
Okay.
So, or actually, no, I'll just start from the bottom up. So, United States Championship match, Kalisto versus Ryback.
This is one that really aggravates the both of us because we don't think that Ryback deserves a one-on-one spot at WrestleMania. We think the U.S. title match should have been the multi-man match. It should have been Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. But WWE seems to be in love with pushing Ryback, which I don't get. Every time they've tried to give him a sustained push, it hasn't really worked. So I'm interested in a way to know how to try to talk over people in the background. I apologize. But I'm interested in a way to know if this push is actually going to stick and work. So I wouldn't be surprised for WWE to put it on Ryback, but at the same time, I think Kalisto has a lot of momentum right now. He's got a lot of positive vibes with the crowd. He's tapping into that Mexican culture, which is huge in the Texas area. So I just don't think Kalisto drops the title right now. I'm picking
I was
Kalisto.
actually about. Sorry, you finished with your thought, right?
Yes, I'm picking Kalisto for all those reasons.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, I was definitely gonna choose Kalisto, although I could definitely see them. You know how WWE is. I could see them picking Ryback because they are trying to like monstrously push him, I guess. You know what I mean? They're always like really high on like some of the big guys. When you have a really big guy, they tend to kind of like overdo it sometimes with them. But I can't see Kalisto losing because he, like you said, he has such big momentum. And I think because he deserves such a like a good title reign. You know, he's on such a momentum with the title, and he's very over with the crowd. I mean, people go nuts when he comes out, to be honest. Like, he used to be one of those guys in the background, and now he's up there with the championship, and it's like finally we're getting somebody who's so underrated, who's finally getting a chance who finally has a title. So, and I really, really, really like Kalisto. Like, he's really, really grown on me. I really like him. So I'm gonna pick Kalisto. Anything else before we move on?
Nope, I'm good.
So this is on the pre-show, but the Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde.
Total Divas will win simply because they're trying to make the show relevant and the other team is completely random. They have no
That's
connection at
true.
all.
That's true. Well, I was gonna say not just because of the Total Divas, but because of who's on the Total Divas match. Like, you got Brie Bella, and you got just simply because of the people on the match. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I was gonna say is that I like people from both sides. From Team Bad, I like Emma, Lana, and who else is in that team? Totally forgot.
Naomi.
And Naomi. I like those three. I could care less for Summer Rae. The Total Divas side, I love Natty. I love her, and I love Emma. Wait, she's not on that team. I lied.
No, Emma's on.
Okay,
Team
whatever. But like, I like 3 and 3 on each side, so it's like I don't really want either team to win because I hate Eva Marie on the other side, and then I hate Avery. Then I don't like Summer Rae on Team Bad and Blonde. But I like Lana and Natty and Emma from both teams, so I don't really want either. Why is Eva Marie even in there in the first place, or Summer Rae? I don't like either of them.
Because WWE is determined to make Eva Marie relevant.
No.
But we have a whole other video to do about that at a later
But yeah, Total Divas. The Total Divas. The Usos versus the Dudley Boyz. You can go ahead and talk about it if you want. I'm just going to promote what we're doing.
This one is interesting because it seems like a throwaway match, but at the same time, the WWE needs relevant contenders for the New Day and the tag team titles. So whoever comes out of this is going to probably be the unnamed at that point #1 contender to the tag team titles. So that, coupled with the fact that the Dudleys turned heel to help them put guys over better, that makes me want to pick the Usos. But at the same time, because the Dudleys haven't been in WrestleMania in how many years, I can see the Dudleys getting that big thank you for coming back, you're a legend type of win at WrestleMania. So it's a real toss-up. I could see it going either way, but just I think for longevity purposes, for what they might do down the line, I'm going to pick the Dudleys because I think the Dudleys could be on paper an immediate challenger to New Day.
They have faced before, like but they were faced. They have tried to go off the after the titles before, but they lost because we all thought they would win when they came back and become, the champions, but they didn't end up doing that. But also because of the way they've been booking the Dudley Boyz, they've been booking them pretty strong.
The Usos
are like the what's the popular tag team, and they've also being like pushed as well. But I'm leaning more towards the Dudley Boyz because they've been booking them not a lot better, but a lot stronger.
Right, and the way that's what I was gonna say. The way that the Usos are over with the crowd makes me think that now is not the right time for them to get a push because New Day is over too, and they're not ready to end New Day's run.
Oh, New Day are now the longest running tag team for the championships. Yeah, for the champions. That's what I just said. They're the longest champions, so I couldn't see them losing their momentum.
Not at me.
No. But anyway, the Usos are over as well. And actually, the Dudley Boyz get cheered at some of the events, simply only because they're the Dudley Boyz. But so you and I are going with the Dudley Boyz.
Yes. But it's one of those matches that is a toss-up, though. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way.
I wouldn't be surprised either or. But at the same time, I'm like leaning more toward. I don't really know who I'm leaning towards actually because at the same time, like I could see the Usos winning. Because I don't know, it's like a toss-up, like we were saying. But since we were talking about tag teams, there's the New Day versus the League of Nations, and I just wanted to quickly. I wanted to go first.
Okay, go ahead.
The League of Nations get no reaction. The League of Nations, literally, you want either to be booed or to be cheered. Meaning, like, not that people want to be booed, but you want to get some sort of reaction, whether you get booed, whether you get cheered, whether people scream at you, whether people just chant you're horrible. Like, you want some sort of reaction. They don't even get any of that. They get silence when it comes out. You can hear you can literally hear like the vents and stuff in the crowds when they come out. But I think that they only did this so the New Day kind of like they were only kind of like a filler tag team because they took away Y2AJ away from them, and I feel like the League of Nations are just kind of a filler. But obviously, New Day is gonna win. They're already, like we were saying before, the New Day is such on a huge momentum. They're so over with the crowd. I mean, heel or face, people have some sort of reaction from them. They're always chanting New Day rocks, and they're still just as hysterical. So I am choosing the New Day to win.
You pretty much said everything there is to say. This is 100% New Day's coming out party. Not that they need a coming out party, but this is WWE saying, you guys have had the best year of anybody we have. You are major stars now. You're going over on the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, exactly. You earned it. You worked your way up to there. I mean, they're so over, even as heels. Even when people were chanting New Day sucks, like, they were still over because they were getting a huge reaction regardless. Like, people went nuts when they came out.
Exactly. So, and the New Day's entrance is going to be great. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, whether it's going to be like a giant marching band or flying on unicorns, but I cannot wait for the New Day's entrance.
They're hysterical. I like, isn't their first WrestleMania together? Isn't it? They've been at WrestleManias, yes. But that's their first, like, as a group together, which is gonna be great. And the New Day are a great period, but them at WrestleMania is gonna be even great. It just sucks that the New Day has to go against the League of Nations. Imagine if we got the New Day versus Y2AJ. Even if Y2AJ did not win and Y2AJ broke up after WrestleMania, I wouldn't even be mad because they're both great. The New Day's great together and Y2AJ is great together, and then when you add them all wrestling, they're great.
Exactly.
But they put it with the League of Nations because like I said, the League of Nations is like a filler, but
right, because they don't actually want to put the titles on the line because they are certain that New Day is going to win this match.
Exactly, and I think it's just for League of Nations to do. They kind of want them to be relevant, so they figure if they put them against the New Day, they'll get some sort of, like, I guess, reaction or some sort of credibility off of that. But nobody cares. Like, I only like Wade Barrett from there.
Right, and it's a shame too because if the rumors are true about him, we may not see him after WrestleMania.
Which sucks. So. It sucks. And WWE really can't afford that right now because there's 14 wrestlers out front right now. But that's a completely different topic. So the next one is the third annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, I wanted to say that because a friend of mine was saying about all these returns and stuff, and returns don't really happen at WrestleMania. And I feel like the wrestlers that are returning are a lot of them are really big stars that are out from injury right now. And that's not fair to wrestlers like Randy Orton to be thrown into, to not have a legitimate feud and to be thrown into something. The Andre the Giant match is mainly for jobbers and for wrestlers who are already there to have something to do at WrestleMania. There's not normally big stars that show up. NXT stars aren't going to show up in the Andre the Giant match. They're not going to debut on the main roster at WrestleMania. I'm sure they'll be involved in WrestleMania, like maybe not necessarily on screen. They'll be backstage, I'm sure. But Andre the Giant match is mainly for, like, the jobbers and, I'm repeating myself, for wrestlers who don't exactly have a match, but they still want them involved in the match. But besides that, anything you want to comment on, or who do you think is going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
Well, I don't think we're going to see anybody like.
That's what I'm saying. We're not going to see anybody major.
No, and honestly, the only reason that they have this match is for what you said, for the guys that have been there all year, that they need to give them a spot at WrestleMania because they've been there all year for them, but they have nothing else for them to do, like Kane. Yeah. So,
Big Show and
right,
all 9 yards.
So
sorry, go ahead.
This one, I think, unfortunately, and you're gonna hate this, but you're also gonna understand why I'm saying this.
Are you gonna say Big Show?
Because you know how stupid WWE's logic is. No, I'm gonna say it comes down to Big Show and Braun Strowman. And I'm gonna say Braun Strowman will win this match.
I know, because they're really high on him, and they're about to monstrously push him. Since we, had a fit that did not, and Undertaker did not want to face him either. That they're really big on Braun Strowman, not only for his size, but I read that they wanted to monstrously push him. But at least Braun Strowman is not in a singles match. At least, because
True.
he's not ready for that.
If they're insisting on giving him a win at WrestleMania, which is the biggest issue that I have, it's Wrestle freaking Mania. You don't give a rookie who's never had a singles match a win at WrestleMania.
And not only that, but this is his first WrestleMania.
Right. So
I mean, you got to start somewhere, but like I don't think a win is necessary. And don't get me wrong, I love the Wyatt family. Braun, like we were saying, has potential, but being pushed to the moon in such a short period of time isn't gonna work. But go ahead, carry your thoughts.
I just think that WWE just sees that potential and they want to push him now. But the problem is when you push a guy that's green, you have all kinds of problems because the fact that he's green gets so badly exposed. So masking him in this battle royal is really smart because he can just come out and do a massive power move on the Big Show, who has made a big deal about trying to be a two-time winner. He's trying to make the match relevant. It's on the pre-show, so it's the kind of thing where WWE can go ahead and do their thing because it's on the pre-show and they're going to think the majority of the crowd might not even watch it, and then they can start doing their thing the next night on Raw. I just think everything about the match screams Braun Strowman winning. I think that WWE needs to make, if they want a new big monster heel guy. There's guys down in NXT. Heck, Baron Corbin. I can't stand Baron Corbin because
he's a monster heel, though.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's what I was trying to say. Is the reason I can't stand him is because he's such a freaking good heel. He is masterful at his job.
And also, you don't need to be huge to be considered a monster heel. You just need to play the heel right. You need to just need to get major heel heat. But also what I wanted to add though is it's great that you want to push new stars, but you got to do it slowly, not all at once. You need to get him to get out of the stage of being green. You know, you have to I don't mean 100 years from now, but over time, so that he can develop himself, so he can become somebody, so he can establish himself before you monstrously push him. Sure, you want him to get big wins, but you do it in small little steps. Just like for Lana, like when you pointed out, at least it's on the pre-show, I kind of think like wrestlers like Lana and Braun are not exactly ready for the grand stage, but they're on the pre-show and they're in the tag. They're not getting a singles competitor, main event match. So if they mess up, and they are still green, they're not slightly on the big card yet. They're almost there, but they're on the pre-show. And at least they have room for mistakes, if they're on the pre-show. I know what you're getting at. You and I were discussing that before then. That's what you were pointing out, what we were discussing yesterday and before we came on here a little bit.
Right.
That's what I forgot to mention. And the other one is that I thought Lana would be wrestling at other stuff. I'm very, very happy that she's wrestling and she gets some, wrestling, I guess, practice. Like, I didn't think she would be ready, but it's not as bad because it's on the pre-show and it's with a bunch of other people, so she can be carried if she needs to. Same with Braun Strowman. Right. He doesn't have to carry the match himself. He has other people.
Right, we may not like Big Show's character, but Big Show is a tremendous veteran. He knows how to work. He knows how to put guys over. He will do everything he can to make Braun Strowman look a little bit better than he is right now, which is a good first step for him.
Right. So, you gotta build them up before you give them a monstrous push.
Right. So that's my prediction is Big Show, Braun Strowman, the final two. Braun Strowman.
I literally was actually gonna say Big Show because I wouldn't be surprised, but then I forgot Braun will probably be in the Battle Royal or Andre the Giant, whatever you want to call it. But obviously the jobbers like 3MB will probably be in there, right? Or whatever they're calling them now,
Social Outcast.
Yeah. They'll probably be in there.
They'll be in there.
They'll be in there, Social Outcast. I totally forgot what their names was. That's really sad. Whoops. Obviously Big Show, because that's his thing. And Kane's in there, sadly. Poor Kane. And Braun Strowman. And then
Luke
probably,
Harper was supposed to be in it, but Luke Harper's hurt now.
but he's injured, right?
So Bray might be in it, but Bray is supposedly hurt. And
Yeah,
I
because
think
Bray was supposed to face Brock, but they changed that too.
right, and then
Which I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
well, I'm fine with it too. And then there was rumors that if Bray hadn't got hurt, that it was going to be a triple threat match between the three of them, which would have been
I
amazing.
kind of wouldn't really mind that because that would be something different. Like
I
Dean
would
and Bray Wyatt are totally different wrestlers, and Brock's just Brock. So
right, I would have loved to see that actually if that happened.
you and I are like we're always on like a fatal 3-way or fatal 4-way kick.
Well, that's yeah, and usually because when they do multi-man matches, they do it in a way that makes sense, and I think that triple threat match would have been a good match.
Yes, and there's always really talented people in groups. But then I almost don't like it because I end up liking the majority of people in the group. But anyways, anything would you like to add to the battle royal?
Well, no, I'm good with that, but you didn't actually pick a winner.
Oh, well, I did. I said Big Show.
Okay.
Because I forgot that what's his name? Braun Strowman was in it. But I could see both of those two winning.
Okay.
But anyways, next match. I'm gonna let you talk because this is your field. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho.
All right, I don't want to repeat myself too much from not turning back, so I'll make it very short and sweet and to the point. This has been a dream feud. I always wanted to see this feud. I have no issues with these two wrestling at WrestleMania. The issue I have is that they spoiled 3 other matches before WrestleMania. So this is the 4th time that these two are going at it. Anytime you push a feud beyond 3 matches, you get a little bit of, no matter who it is, you get a little bit of a been there, done that type of feel. It's very hard to get excited about this match despite how amazing you know it's going to be. So for me, they really dropped the ball. Now, granted, I haven't seen SmackDown yet because I was very busy yesterday and today. So I have to try to catch up on SmackDown before the Hall of Fame on Saturday. But unless they did it on SmackDown, they have not named the stipulation for this match. And actually, you're sitting there looking at the card, so I'm assuming the card would have said if there was a stipulation for the match.
No, there's nothing. It just says AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Unless they're gonna, for some reason, do some sort of surprise. But no, there's nothing. There's nothing there.
Right. And so that, to me, is the biggest mistake they made, is that this should have been an Iron Man match, or I would have said a ladder match had they not done the IC ladder match for the title. So I'm definitely picking AJ to win. It will be the best match of the 4. Chris Jericho to me will always be my personal greatest of all time, and he has absolutely done his job. His heel work has been amazing. He reminds people what it's like to have good mic skills. I mean, his promo on Raw freaking gave me chills up and down my spine. Not just because I'm a huge...
No, go ahead. Jericho is such an amazing heel. He's such an amazing heel. But go ahead.
He is. And so, she just confirmed it. I'm not just saying it because I'm a huge Jericho mark. His work has been unbelievable right now. And it's kind of come full circle because when it started, these two were trying to one-up each other, and then they respected each other. Now Jericho flat out hates AJ. So it's
and he threw a fit on Raw. His fits are the most hilarious and best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, for all those reasons, AJ Styles will win. It will be the best match of the 4, and it'll be a thing where, again, you wonder why they had to have 4 matches, because when you see this match, you're like, well, that's what the 3rd match should have been. That was at Fastlane. It didn't need to be at Fastlane. They should have just had the 2nd match before Fastlane and stretched it out further to go to WrestleMania.
Exactly. Or I was saying I wouldn't even mind, although I don't really like rematches a lot. I mean, if it's different, if it happens at one pay-per-view and then, months go by and then they have it at the next pay-per-view. But not having it at every single pay-per-view. But the thing is, like, I wouldn't even mind if this was the third match. Like, how great would it be? Because matches normally are, like, feuds are normally in three. Everything's normally in three. So
Right.
imagine, one was on Raw, one was I guess, at a normal pay-per-view. And then the last match that they will have together, like singles, at the grandest stage of them all. They could have built that so well by doing that, like playing it off as like, the last third match will be at WrestleMania, or it ends all at WrestleMania.
Right. The
But
Raw
now,
Women
but now
match at
saying
WrestleMania.
like, oh, the fourth match at WrestleMania, that's not really an ending. It's like it looks odd like that. It should
Yeah.
be this.
It looks like you're saluting the Four Horsemen or something when you do that. It's very strange. But yeah. But you agree though that it's all right.
What happened?
It's, I said you agree though that it's all about AJ Styles right now, right?
Oh yeah, no. I honestly don't even mind who wins, to be honest, because I really, really love both of them. I know you're cheering for Jericho because he's
Well, in my
Jericho,
heart, yeah.
but
Well,
anyways, like you're cheering for Jericho, but AJ Styles is gonna win. Like I wouldn't really mind who won. I think AJ Styles is gonna win, but at least now they can go their separate ways and do other things.
right. Which I can't wait to talk about that on No Turning Back or in a future solo video about what AJ's next feud should be because I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about that and I have some interesting thoughts.
Right, that's
But
another video.
yes,
Anything you would like to add? Because that was your element.
it's just that Jericho's amazing. I'm so glad that he's back virtually full time. Supposedly he's booked way beyond WrestleMania. He might even be as late as SummerSlam this year, which is amazing. So he's going to do such amazing work. The rumor is right now that the next guy he's going to put over is Shinsuke Nakamura. So to see him go down to the NXT brand, which is purely about wrestling and wrestling being appreciated as purest form, will be absolutely amazing if that's the direction WWE goes. Wherever they go with Jericho is going to be amazing because he can put anybody over. Wherever they go with AJ is going to be interesting as long as they don't, kill his momentum. So I'm excited for a great end to a great feud. AJ will get his shining first WrestleMania victory, and it'll be a match that will steal the show. It'll be one of the four best matches in that, I guarantee you.
Yes. Oh, of course. But I just had to let you talk because that is your element. So the Intercontinental Championship: Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder versus Sin Cara versus The Miz versus Stardust. That is a lot to say. That is, out of breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wrestlers in that match. I love Kevin Owens. I love Sami Zayn. I love Dolph Ziggler. Sin Cara is starting to grow on me. Miz is underrated and underused. And Stardust, I like seeing him live. Kind of random, but your thoughts?
Well, hashtag KO Mania, baby. I mean, that's what it's all about. KO's had the strongest year of any quote unquote new talent in a very long time. I mean, think about the way he started the year. He started the year absolutely tearing it down with Neville winning the NXT championship and then going on to the best. Ask any fan that has watched wrestling outside WWE and knows about Ring of Honor and PWG and all the other great independent promotions out there. The greatest independent feud of the last 10 years has been Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. So they went right into that with Kevin Owens, and then he comes off of that and retains his championship and goes and challenges freaking John Cena and beats John Cena at his first quote unquote main
Wasn't it
roster.
cleanly too?
Yes, he beat him cleanly. So
That normally doesn't. I mean, I don't mean to go on to Cena rant or like I'm not bashing Cena or anything, but normally with Cena, there's not normally a clean win. But for a new talent like him to go over Cena cleanly is amazing.
it
But go
is.
ahead,
So
continue.
I mean, yeah. So he had the great feud with John Cena, and then he went on and win the Intercontinental title. He's now a two-time Intercontinental champion. He will be in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture by either the middle of this year or the end of this year. So he is a future star for the long haul. He is the one of the best heels. He is like a new version of Chris Jericho, and the fact that he's such a good heel because he gets under your skin so bad. You just want to wring Kevin Owens' neck because of the audacity of the things he has to say.
Oh, I love it. He's such a jerk. It's
He's a
great.
complete jerk,
It's
and he
great.
and he stays in character all the time, even on Twitter.
I
He's
know he even oh my gosh, you should see him at live events. He taunts fans. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Um, when I was live March 25th on a Friday, he was taunting a fan and arguing back and forth with him. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like you don't get that anywhere else. And Kevin Owens is not afraid to say mean things. He literally one of the fans said you suck, and then he goes, you know that's not true. And he goes, well your mom. Well, and then he said something about the person's mother, and the whole crowd was like, ooh. I mean, you had to be there. It was hysterical. But anything else you want to say? So obviously Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens wins the match. I think it's going to be obviously just because of the talent that's in it. It's going to be a show stealer. It's going to be. I would not be surprised if it kicks
Is it a
off.
tables match? Not a tables. I mean a ladder
It's a
match.
ladder match.
A ladder match. That's what I thought. Not only do we have, like you were saying, some very talented wrestlers on there, Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, who I love very much. I love Dolph Ziggler. I love Kevin Owens. They are going to kill it in a ladder match.
They absolutely
You
are.
just you have to the talented wrestlers, and then you're adding,
A ladder
the
into
ladders.
it.
They're gonna murder each other on there, and some of them are like big high flyers too. So
Right. I think that this is also going to be a way for whatever quote unquote. I hate the word main roster, but there's really no other way to differentiate Raw and SmackDown right now from NXT until they officially call NXT a brand and it's like NXT Raw and SmackDown. But this will be the chance for that quote unquote main roster, that Raw and SmackDown roster audience that doesn't bother to watch NXT to really see what Sami Zayn's all about too. He's gonna look absolutely amazing in his match. I hope that they get to continue their feud one on one after WrestleMania. That's really where I want it to go. So Sami Zayn will be really strong in this match. The other guy that I think will surprise a lot of people to be really strong in the match, I think will be Sin Cara.
that's what I was just about to say, Sin Cara, because they've been pushing him pretty strong too. You know,
They have been, and I would not be surprised if it's to set up some kind of jealousy thing with Sin Cara over Kalisto, and those two end up feuding with each other. Because it doesn't make sense for Lucha Dragons to stay together if they're not going to be challenging for the tag team titles, and Kalisto's already U.S. champion. So
right?
it
And they're not gonna drop the titles on New Day anytime soon, so
right.
it would make
So
sense
if
for them
you're
to go
not
somewhere
gonna
else.
if you're not gonna keep Lucha Dragons together as a team, then obviously logically, Sin Cara is the quote unquote heel in the situation. So I think he has to look really strong here.
And you
No,
know what I
no,
kind of like though, even I like how a lot of the mid carders are, even though they're not going to win, are getting a shot at it, and also get to finally show off what they can do. And the stipulation, I think, will add, because a lot of them are actually really talented.
right. I think that the only guy in this thing is the guy that really probably won't do much is the guy
Zack
that
Ryder,
shouldn't. Yeah, because he's the guy that shouldn't have been in it because he's taking Neville's spot because Neville got
right?
hurt.
Because Neville's injured. I feel quite bad for Zack Ryder. I mean, at least he's kind of getting to do something, and maybe he'll surprise us and actually do pretty well. But that's why I like that he's on NXT, so he can reestablish himself. He's not ready to come back to the main roster at all. So, but I mean, at least he's doing something. But yes, I think that Kevin Owens will win. I really wouldn't mind at all if like Sammy won or Dolph won or even Sin Cara. Because Miz is actually underrated, underused, and he's actually quite good. Sin Cara has grown on me, and he's actually really good. He's a great high flyer. Zack Ryder needs to stay on the NXT brand. Dolph Ziggler is actually really talented. Sami Zayn's very talented, and so is Kevin Owens. So, anything else you would like to add, Mister?
No, just that I just think that rah, rah. That's an inside thing, folks. Sorry.
I did that on
Uh,
purpose.
I
Okay.
it took me a minute to realize what you said because I have a brain going. But yeah,
Mm.
I would not be surprised. Like I was saying, I think I said it before, but I know I've said it to you off the air. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is the kickoff for the actual WrestleMania show, the 4 hours of WrestleMania.
Raz, you just took what I was gonna say. I actually was gonna say that they did this last time. What was it? It was the not at WrestleMania, but at one of the other pay-per-views. They had the ladder match start off the show, or the TLC match start off the show. It was at TLC, I think, wasn't it? The Lucha Dragons, the Usos, and the New Day,
Right? Yeah.
and they started off as the not the pre-match, the opening match. So I could see them doing like just like they did for TLC, having
Right.
that be the opening start.
Because you put that kind of match on, it gets the crowd hot, gets them pumped because they have to sit there and watch. If they're in there for the pre-show, which most people that buy a ticket would be, because they're not going to, not sitting there. They're not going to be like outside unless they're outside buying merch the whole time. They're not going to not be in their seats. So they're watching 6 hours of live wrestling on Sunday. So that actual official beginning to the pay-per-view is really smart because it's going to get them so pumped up and so full of energy and really just get things off
Exactly.
running.
And fans love it when people fly through through not tables. I don't know why I keep saying tables. Through ladders. So, and yes, it would be a nice opening match to wake up to. You got to start off big and then kind of mellow out and then go back up towards when it's towards the main event. But
Exactly.
all right, so the next one, unless you wanted to add anything else.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so next is the Divas Championship: Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. Now, I wanted to say that all of these girls are very talented. We like all three of these girls, and I could see. I mean, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte retained, but I definitely think Sasha is going to win. And we both would love for Becky Lynch to win. And not that we don't think she's deserving. We very much think she's deserving. We just don't think her time is now. Her time is definitely later. I'm glad she's even in this match in the first place, but I don't think her time is now. She is ready, and she does deserve it, but the time's not now.
Right, because
Sasha's time.
right,
So,
they just have too much momentum behind the other two right now. I actually think Becky Lynch is probably going to end up being the girl. I don't know if she'll necessarily turn heel, which she kind of would have to in order for it to work.
I think she's too faced to do that, though, right now.
Well, she is, but what I was trying to say was I would not be surprised if Becky Lynch ended up being one of the girls that's responsible for getting Bailey over on Raw and SmackDown. So I think that she's going to do great work in that. The only person besides Sasha Banks, like you said, is Charlotte because she's had a great year. She's Ric Flair's daughter, the whole legacy thing, and she's a tremendous heel. But I think a lot of heels will win in other spots, as we've already talked about during this show. So I think that all that coupled with and this is the key, I think. WWE actually had her mention in a promo that since she came to Raw and SmackDown, Sasha Banks has not lost a match. She's never been pinned, never submitted. So I don't think WWE would have made that a thing unless they were saying, this is our champion going forward.
Exactly. And they've really been, they've really been booking Charlotte to look like she's going to win. I mean, they've been building the other two up, and they've been building, mentioning what you say about Sasha, but Sasha's my pick.
Right. So that's just my pick
I
as
mean, and
well.
anyway, even if she loses the champ, even if Charlotte loses, she's such a good monstrous heel right now. It won't hurt her because she's such a good heel at this point. You know.
No, absolutely. Yeah. He took the words right out of my mouth. Should we talk about, though, what we know is going to happen on Raw, or should we just save that for no turning back after it actually happens to talk about the news that came out regarding the women's division?
We should wait. We should wait because these are just our predictions. All right, so
Okay.
let's see. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, no holds barred street fight. This is just, I don't even like Brock Lesnar. I mean, I don't care for him even before the whole streak thing. I was never into Brock Lesnar. I thought it was great that he returned and whatever. But anyways, the two are just gonna rip each other apart. I mean, it's gonna be a great match. The stipulation's great, and obviously, as much as I love Dean, I love Dean. I'd rather him go into the championship direction, but at least he's getting an amazing opponent, and he's pretty much replaced Bray Wyatt. Which hey, I'm perfectly happy with this match. This match is gonna be great, but Brock's going to win. Oh, and also they have to. Brock Lesnar has to win and has to remain strong because he's the one that broke the streak.
Right.
So it's so important for him to win now and to continue to be strong. So go ahead.
And I think that also, to WWE's credit, I think even if Dean loses his match, I don't think he looks weak at all. I think he totally
No, because he's against Brock Lesnar. Like, he was able to actually keep his own during the match. Even though he lost and they both murdered each other, he was able to still survive at the end.
Dean's going to be a major player going forward. I would not be surprised if they insist on keeping Roman Reigns face, which that's a whole other rant. Let's just not go there again.
But Dean will be an amazing heel. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
But yeah, exactly. Dean has done his best work as a heel. Anybody's ever seen him as a heel knows that. So I would not be surprised to see him turn heel after Mania
and then face Roman. And have like a brother war.
War. Yeah, that's exactly where I think it's going. So, because of that, part of me says, well, then he can't lose at WrestleMania, but because of who he's facing, he kind of sort of has to.
Brock, honestly, unless you're Undertaker, you'll benefit from Brock because he's Brock. Like, you actually made it in a match with Brock.
So,
and Dean is just Dean. So I mean, losses don't really hurt him because the crowd, he's so over with the crowd, it kind of doesn't matter. And then him turning heel, oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Right, exactly.
And then going after being like a huge heel and going after the big face and actually winning, that would be amazing. But anyway, that's what we're going to get into next. We're both going for Brock Lesnar, obviously, right? Yep.
Yeah, I would love.
So anything else you wanted to add?
I just said I would love it if Dean would win, but because he's facing Brock, he won't.
Yeah, exactly. And I love Dean, but Brock can't lose. Especially at WrestleMania when he's the one that broke the streak. He can't lose at WrestleMania. Maybe other places, but especially not at WrestleMania. But what we were talking about ties into the next thing that I'm going to mention. WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Triple H versus Roman Reigns, which we both pretty much touched on a lot and kind of in this predictions. They're so huge on Roman. They're pushing him huge as a face. Roman Reigns is going to win, and they've been, like we were saying, you always say for booking 101, they always normally make the loser look extremely strong, and that's what they've been doing with Triple H. I mean, they've just been monstrously pushing Roman Reigns as a face, of course, through the whole time, but Triple H has mainly gotten the upper hand. There was that huge beatdown and brawl on Raw. So some people, because of that, thought Triple H might retain, but they're doing that because that's what they want you to think. They want their champion to look like he's going to retain, and Roman can't do it. But Roman's going to win. Because what we were talking about before, what if it's like Dean turns heel, Dean versus Roman Reigns, brother versus brother. They're not actually brothers, but, good friends versus good friends.
Right.
But yeah, Roman Reigns, go ahead.
That's where I think it's all going. I think Roman will win here. I think what WWE has to be really Sure, they don't do though because there's so much of the crowd that's against Roman being champion. They cannot let this match be the last match on the card. They've got to have we haven't just saved that because it's Jamie hosting the video. The reason that Undertaker versus Shane is the last thing we're going to talk about is because Undertaker versus Shane needs to be the match that ends the show. It just does. The Triple H Roman Reigns feud is not strong enough because of the way that they're insisting on ending for it to end WrestleMania.
And I also think you can't have three, like Brock Lesnar versus Dean, and then Undertaker and Roman Reigns and Triple H all consecutively. You need to separate them because that'd be too much for the crowd, you know?
Right,
Like, you
right.
need some breathers in between. You can't let us all hold our breath the whole time for 3 matches. You need some. That's why you have some down matches on there too, so the crowd can breathe.
Exactly. I will say really quickly because we've made this extremely long, which we do. We always tend to do whenever we get
That's
on
okay. It kind of
But
makes up because we haven't done No Turning Back for a couple weeks. We're just kind of taking a break, but
right, I do want to mention real quick that I like what WWE has done with the subtle character change of Roman Reigns. I like how he's not talking, he's not cutting promos, he's not being over the top, goofy and silly. He's just walking to the ring, kicking butt and taking names. That's exactly who he needs to be, and why, if they would have done it that way from the beginning, why I don't think so much of the crowd would be fighting him right now. If we had seen that for the last 3 months, I think the crowd would be ready for Roman Reigns to become champion.
exactly. And a lot of people like Roman Reigns. Like you and I like Roman Reigns. We like him, but it's the way that they're booking him that we have a problem with. And the thing is, I tweeted on Raw. A lot of people, and then I put in parentheses, including myself, really like Roman Reigns. We just don't like how he's being forced down our throat and being booked as a face. Some people just naturally work as heels, and some people naturally just work as like monster characters. They don't work as being a frolicky face, you know?
Right.
It doesn't work. That doesn't work. And even for his size, it doesn't work. I know he's not as big as Big Show or Undertaker or anything, but like he can't be booked like that. It doesn't work for him.
Exactly. So.
And, oh, by the way, can you imagine if Roman Reigns turned heel? I know they're not going to do that because he's, being monstrously pushed and they're so high on him right now. But can you imagine him turning heel?
It would be really interesting
great.
if they flip flop the script and had Roman as the heel and Dean as the face for that
because
feud.
They would cheer for Dean no matter what. I mean, both of them would work so well as a heel. Dean works well as both, but especially a heel. Roman needs to just be the way you were describing how he should be booked, or he should be heel. But they're not going to do that. So with Roman being a heel, that would be great if either or were heel.
Right.
But go ahead, continue.
I think that Roman's just on the air. Roman is just gonna win here. For all the reasons we said. But it'll be really interesting going forward because WWE really wants this guy over, and they got to do it carefully. They got to do it in the right way.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, so the last match, which I love, I'm gonna talk. Stretching out my hands. Anyways, Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. So first of all, the booking to this kind of didn't make sense the majority of the time. Don't get me wrong, Shane McMahon is great. The Undertaker is amazing. I love him. He's the best person in the whole world. I'm gonna get mushy for a minute. I love him so much. But anyway, for Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, it kind of didn't make any sense, booking wise. For The Undertaker, though, they added the stipulation that if he loses, this is his last WrestleMania. But I think that stipulation was added in there as a last minute thing because they needed a reason for The Undertaker to fight. Because before they added that, we were all kind of like, why is Undertaker fighting? Like, what are they going to do so that it makes sense? So they added that, which still doesn't make sense in a way because couldn't he just get, if Undertaker were to lose, couldn't he just get reinstated? But anyways, it still didn't make sense. But I think that the go home show between them, they were the opening segment, was absolutely amazing. I'm not just saying that, it was absolutely great. I think that honestly cleared a lot of things up. I think that it honestly helped the build tremendously, because they needed to do something big in order to make the build a lot better than it was. It's not that it was bad, it didn't make sense. This particular segment was the right length. It had a lot of action. It was great promo cutting, great back and forth, especially Taker's mic skills. Because the other segments were either short or they weren't there. And or if it was Vince caring. But I think the ending segment actually really helped the match out. And also when Shane the whole time was always looked very strong. Undertaker had like the promos in terms of like the package deals, and he had one or two to go over, but Shane mainly the whole time they are booking it on like really making it seem like Shane was gonna win, like pretty much giving him the advantage. And then what really made me seal the deal and think that Shane was going to lose was that Shane got the upper hand the last Raw, the go home show. And when he did that with, the elbow into the announcer's table, and that made me instantly go, yep, Undertaker's winning. Because the loser always gets the upper hand, and on the go home show, they get the upper hand. So I think the Undertaker's going to win. This match is going to be absolutely amazing. They're going to kill each other. If we got that little slight thing on Raw, could you imagine what we're going to get for the whole thing? Shane's crazy when it comes to stuff like that. He'll jump off of anything. And then Undertaker, that's his yard. WrestleMania is his yard, his playground. Both WrestleMania and Hell in a Cell is Undertaker's playground and his yard and his house. And you know how amazing he is at both of those events, especially WrestleMania. They're going to go great. Do you want to add anything else?
You pretty much took every word out of my mouth. And this is why you and I are partners in these type of videos and as friends, because we very rarely disagree. Like our brains work exactly the same way. So the only thing I want to add to this is for people that say, well, Undertaker shouldn't win because of we want to see Shane, we want to see the change with the Authority, we want to see that storyline. You're still going to get that. There's going to be something that happens in this match that's going to guarantee that Shane McMahon is not going anywhere.
There's going to be some sort of shenanigans. Like, I still think Undertaker's going to win, but there's going to be something. And regardless if Undertaker were to win or lose, which is what Raz was saying, that there's still going to be a feud between all of them. Like, it's still really just about the whole McMahon family. Like he's going to be around after, I think, Shane McMahon. And even if he doesn't lose, he'll still try to find some sort of way to wriggle himself in there and, take over Raw. Because regardless if Undertaker if he were to lose, or even if Shane weren't to win, there's something different being added to the Authority. Like, we're having Shane feud. That's something different. Like, before that, it was always Authority, and there was nobody really feuding with them. So even if he were to lose, there's still something, because Shane would be adding to it,
Right.
Anything else you want to add?
Just that I had to turn the broadcast down because my dad came in the room there for a second, so I can't remember if you mentioned the fact of what you think might happen at the end of WrestleMania.
I did not, but I was saving that towards the end so we could both talk about it. But anyways, most likely not, because of the severity of his injury. It's not like he broke his ankle, but or has some internally wrong with him. Like, he has a severe injury. I mean, it's probably not a good prognosis. But anyways, we were saying, like, there would probably be some sort of shenanigans at the end, but where Undertaker still wins. Like, and a lot of other wrestling sites were mentioning, what if Sting shows up and it starts the feud for them facing next year for WrestleMania? Like Hell in a Cell, obviously you can't get in there, but what if like they have a stare down and then it leads up something for next year? I know you really wanted to add a lot to that, so because I already
I
talked a lot, I want to let you have a chance. Go ahead.
no, it's just the only thing I can say to it is that this match has been a match that people have been wanting to see for so many years. I can't even tell you. So it needs to happen. It needs to be very subtle. If it happens, it needs to just be staying up in the Raptors at Texas A&M. Can you imagine that? Because Texas A&M is so high up, and there's so many people there. Like him,
Right.
he just stands in the Raptors with the baseball bat, points down at a victorious Undertaker, and then network kicks it off. It goes black. That's how the pay-per-view ends.
Yeah, oh my gosh, people would go nuts. Like Undertaker finally gets the victory, and then he's like, all right, like I want this at WrestleMania, like you just said, and he was like, Undertaker looks back at him and like, yeah, this is what you have to look forward to next year, type of
Right.
thing.
Exactly.
Like some people are like, oh shit, Sting needs to like cost Undertaker the match. First of all, how are you going to do that unless he's a ghost and can magically go through, the cage? You don't necessarily need to cost him anything. You can just have like an epic stare down. Like that's what Triple H and Undertaker had.
Right, and that's exactly what I think should be happening, especially with these two characters, because that's the Crow character, that's the dead main character. They
Exactly.
don't need they don't need to say anything to convey emotion. All they need to do is look at each other.
And they also don't need physical contact either. Just a look and we'll know next year. Physical contact can happen when the road to WrestleMania
Because
is
the power, it just shows the power of that, of the way that they sell it. I mean, that baseball bat pointed at
persona.
yeah, that baseball bat gets pointed at Undertaker.
Yeah,
Everyone
this is not a
loses their mind.
baseball bat, but he could be like this, like point at the sign and then be like,
And then point down at Taker, and that's how it ends. Exactly.
yeah. And also, it works both ways because even if Shane loses, I mean, I don't want to sound like full of myself, but Shane's gonna lose. So if Shane loses, there's still gonna be some sort of feud after. Like, even if Shane were to win, Vince is not gonna let that go. But if Shane loses, Shane's not going to let that go that he lost. He's still going to want to go after. So the feud will end. Shane and Undertaker's feud will end. They'll have a great match. Then Shane can go his separate way. The Authority can have their different storyline. Shane being there in general adds a whole nother twist on everything anyway. So they can have their own feud, and Undertaker, whatever he wants to do at WrestleMania, and that confirms for next year. And Undertaker can go. Everybody moves on and does their own thing.
Right,
That's
exactly.
how I wish it would happen, I don't think
Exactly.
it's I don't think it's very likely that he'll
The
be
only
there.
question is booking wise how they would have Shane remain around when he doesn't win the match.
Well,
And
go ahead.
that's what scares me because I'm afraid WWE will do something stupid like the stupid double ending they did with Brock Lesnar and Undertaker at
But
SummerSlam.
you can't do that with Undertaker, and you can't especially do that at WrestleMania. Like, even though the streak's not around anymore, what is he gonna be? 22-1-1? Like that doesn't work. He's not another wrestler. He's not any of these guys on here that it can work for. And also for it though too, Undertaker can't lose anymore. Not I'm not saying that just because I like Undertaker, but like, what about that one significant loss? That always needs to be significant. Like, he actually lost once. He's gonna be like everyone else if he has a couple of losses,
Right.
And it's gonna be, what about Brock Lesnar? Are we just gonna sweep him under the rug? He's the one that broke the streak. Why did someone else get to be Undertaker at WrestleMania?
Exactly. So, you took the words right out of my mouth. You've said everything there is to say. So
But no,
I
what did you want? What did you want to say? Booking like wise? Like,
I
what
just
do you think?
well, the stupid way to do it would be the double ending. Have Shane technically get the 3 count, and then have referee wave it off and say no, he didn't win. So Undertaker still gets his victory and still stays around WrestleMania. I don't know. I mean, the only other thing that makes sense if they're gonna do Undertaker in a clean win, which they should do, but they still want Shane around, would be to either have Vince.
Or maybe like there is shenanigans. Like Shane tries to like do some crap, and do some crap with Vince and tries to cost Undertaker. Or like I'm sure you're about to say, what if Vince tries to help Undertaker and try to cost Shane? That could still set something up for afterwards.
Well, actually, I was gonna throw a loop in there and say, what if this whole time they've been working together to try to get Undertaker out, and like Vince wants Triple H wants Shane in charge because Triple H and Stephanie have been ruining the company, and then but that would kind of make Shane heel, which I don't think people would want. So there's gonna be some kind of something where maybe Shane. The only thing I can see that makes sense is Shane gets in a league with somebody that's in power, so he sticks around.
Yeah, or he's like, I'm not giving up, and he gets in cahoots with one of the new stars, and he stays around, or some shenanigans happens in the match, and either like somebody tries to screw somebody, and it's able to keep Shane around after. He's gonna be around after, though. Maybe not necessarily the day after, but maybe they'll have some sort of like feud um together.
Exactly.
Like they
So
will have a feud. It might not be right then and there, but it'll continue because if Shane wins, Shane's not gonna let Vince let that go. And if Shane loses, Vince is gonna rub it in his face to no end. So there will be something. Well, what did you like to say before we end it?
just just that I think Shane will stick around, and I just haven't quite figured out how they're gonna do it. But Undertaker wins, Shane sticks around, we get everything we want. Because if
And the
Undertaker,
happy ending.
because if Undertaker loses, it just ruins things.
It
It just
does.
it just leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It takes away from the 1 and 22 and 1, that whole thing, like you were saying. Just nothing about Undertaker losing makes sense. Because, as you've already said, they're not going to have Undertaker lose this match and disappear. Because if he disappears from WrestleMania, people, he's done.
Oh
There
yeah, and
is
that's what I was gonna
there
say. Like
is no WrestleMania without Undertaker.
exactly, if Undertaker's not at WrestleMania, he's retired. He's not gonna retire on Shane McMahon. Like this is a kayfabe storyline. The reason why they added it was to give Undertaker a reason to fight, and they're not gonna end his career on that. And I'm pretty sure Undertaker probably doesn't want to end it that way. And if when Undertaker retires, we're gonna know, and it's gonna be very serious. And this doesn't feel like a serious ending for Undertaker. So somebody was like, "Oh, Undertaker just wouldn't be at WrestleMania. This is going to be Undertaker's last WrestleMania." It is not. It is definitely not. Undertaker's booked for events afterwards anyway. He's gonna and anyway, that wouldn't even make any sense. I was just about to say, if Undertaker were to cost um or Sting were to, or if something were to happen, it would cost Undertaker the match. Like if it were to be Sting, it would still set up for next year, so he still would be there. And so you know what I'm trying to say? Like if Shane were to win because Sting or somebody cost him the match, obviously that would set up something for next year. So if he's never going to be at a WrestleMania again, then why would they have do that with Sting? Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
So then, regardless, either way, which the stipulation doesn't make any sense, because if Undertaker's gets the match cost, by somebody, and Shane wins, he's still going to be at WrestleMania regardless of the stipulation, because like he loses and then Sting challenges him. So how's he going to challenge him if he's not going to be there next year?
Exactly. So,
and then anyway, Shane can reinstate him anyway. So Undertaker's gonna win. But anyway, go ahead, finish.
that's just it. I've said it in the best I know how to, because I haven't quite figured out how they're going to keep Shane around. But Undertaker wins, Shane's around. It'll be a lot better WrestleMania.
Heck of a better match. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot better pay-per-view than people think it will be because of all the injuries and things. The Divas Championship match is going to be fan freaking tastic. People are going to be talking about that for years. People be talking about
The Brock Lesnar match is gonna. Go ahead. Sorry.
people are going to be talking about the Intercontinental title match for a long time. People are going to be talking about Jericho versus Styles for years. And they're going to be talking about Undertaker versus Shane for a long time. People don't realize how good this match is going to be, especially if they're young enough where they've never seen Shane in the ring. They have no idea.
Regardless of their age, like they're both still in really good shape. If you've seen their workout stuff, Shane has a 6-pack. Undertaker's arms are literally the size of like trucks, and Undertaker at WrestleMania is amazing, period. And then you throw Hell in a Cell in there, like that's his house and his yard right there. And then Shane always does crazy stuff. And anyway, I mentioned like the loser always goes home. The loser looked strong on the last WrestleMania, and that was Shane. So this match is going to be great. Undertaker's going to win. I'm not choosing him because I like him. I'm choosing him because that's the logical person that's going to win.
Right, exactly. Same here. But we got to wrap this up, partner, because I got, what my schedule is and what time it is right now.
All right, so. Anything you would like to say before we end the video? Besides, links are all in the description. I'm putting up my video of when I went to WWE on March 25th up on Monday. We will be doing our WrestleMania live reactions on Sunday. And I am watching The Walking Dead, don't worry, but I'm watching it after WrestleMania. Please don't spoil me. If you want to see me talk about WrestleMania live, I won't be really tweeting just because I want to avoid spoilers for The Walking Dead and because I'll be reacting here. And you'll get to see my live reaction of The Undertaker again, and I'll get to react to that match. So you'll see me reacting to that. Go ahead before we close the show.
Just that, like I said in the beginning, don't forget to watch TakeOver Dallas tonight. Especially if you've never seen NXT, this is a great thing to start on tonight. I'm going to, because of my schedule, I'm busy tomorrow, and obviously Sunday is Sunday. So I'm going to be doing a combination review of both TakeOver Dallas and WrestleMania, and that will be uploaded Monday to my channel. So,
yep. So Raz will be doing the WrestleMania reactions with me. You get to see me react to The Undertaker live, as well as reacting to what he's doing in his match. I will be mainly reacting here, not really tweeting, like I said, because I want to avoid spoilers for The Walking Dead. And I'm not sure when my review is going to go up, because that's when my WWE live live experience video will be going up. Raz and I will talk about, I think I might do it singles, and then we'll mainly touch on everything on No Turning Back on Saturday. But I don't think I'm necessarily going to maybe do a review because of the reactions, and I have a lot of videos that are coming up. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. What would you like to say? Links are down below. Those are the videos I have scheduled.
Just thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you for the WrestleMania live reaction on Sunday.
Yep, bye.